with people who have gone ahead of me. Now you see, you have invited me. I think, Solomon, you're now getting ready for marriage.
God, bring it. I receive.
I remember a long time ago when I was still a child, there's a Muslim guy that came in my lifestyle. And yeah, we dated, you understand. We dated, we went out, he was my friend. For him, he had the intentions, of course, of wanting to marry me. He was such a good guy. He was a responsible guy. I would have loved everything about him in my own will, you understand. But now, the influence of God could not allow me continue with him in marriage. Yeah, you cannot have marriage without sex, but sex should not be the number one priority of marriage. Number one is companionship. And when we talk about companionship, it is not just sex. It's intimacy. It is emotions. It's people friendship. It is building your world.
Hello, my people. I'm Solomon Palai. It's Elder Podcast, and I'm very delighted to have a mother of many. She's a mentor. She's a teacher, and many people have been blessed by her. And I'm really so happy. She's going to touch a very interesting topic many of you want to hear about, and that is relationships, marriage. People have asked questions about marriage, and many have promised like 1,000 people, I will marry you, I will marry you, and things that I don't know.
And they don't work out.
And they don't work out.
Yeah.
So we're going to be diving in and see how we can go about the issue of marriage. All the youths out there who are really feeling that, I'm really ready. I need to have someone. I'm happy to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, I'm very
Solomon.
I'm very honored.
I'm also very privileged. I've watched you. I've been following you. I love your program. I love the youths always in the house. And yeah, what a moment. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about the topic of marriage? That
Topic
you have
of
gone
marriage.
ahead of us.
Yeah.
So we need to hear from people who have gained. You know, youths want to be independent. They think they know everything. They have the YouTube.
Exactly.
If it doesn't work out, they will hear some motivational speaker. And
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very excited, and it's an interesting topic. People call me Senga, so probably those are some of the topics that to speak like a Senga.
Because things have been covered up.
Yeah, I know.
We don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
So
yeah, but it's interesting to have a topic like that to be shared publicly, because like you said, many people hide about certain things. They are not straight about it.
exactly.
And this generation has maneuvered to get their own information, either in a wrong way or in many different sources. But yeah, if the Lord has given us this opportunity to share, and to share real life, because real life, it's good. But by the way, my name, you said mentor, mother, teacher, whatever. Those are so many titles. People will meet me out there and say teacher, mentor, mother. But my name is Joy. I'm Joy Vikumbi, and apparently I'm a mother of many, like Solomon has put it. But also the Lord has blessed me biologically with 4 beautiful children, two beautiful girls and 2 handsome men. Yeah, and of course that means I have a man with me.
Exactly.
You know, these days things are different. Even when we talk about relationships. Exactly. So God has blessed me with a husband, and Mr. Vikumbi for that matter, and we've been married by the grace of God for 21 years.
21 years.
21. You don't say, you make it look like all those years you're eating things.
You enjoy it. 21.
Yeah, but yeah, 21 years
Older
of working.
than some of the young men.
I know. I'm on a youth program, right?
Yeah, we the right person. Yeah.
So yeah, and it has been a whole journey of so many things, experiences, and all things. Yeah.
The people have been having this scaring us about marriage. What is there? You need to be careful. You need to buckle up. You need to. So, and those who have gone ahead of us, one person told me that if I could go back and make a choice,
I would change my choice.
I would choose to be a celibate. And you were an old man. I said,
yeah.
What is there in marriage?
Marriage, it's not scary, like people say. Marriage is life. It's a journey. So just like we walk the journey in life, yeah. At least Solomon, I can relate to when they give birth to a child. Now, when you're a baby and when you're still under the care of your parents, especially before you take up responsibility, I'm talking about ages of like from babyhood to like, let me say, maybe 10 years or that kind of life. And then as you grow up and you become mature, there are times you feel like, I wish I would go back and be a baby. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think even marriage is kind of like that. That sometimes because you find responsibilities are increasing, what you expected sometimes is not what you get. The journey is a journey. It has highs and lows. So sometimes when you encounter such, sometimes people are like, I think I was better off when I had no responsibilities. I was better off when I was alone. I was better off when I had no accountability, because all these things is a package in marriage. Yeah. But it's not that it's scary. It's not really, it's a very sweet thing. The Bible, I'll use the Bible text because that is what I know most. It says 2 are better than 1. So yeah, every time you're 2, it's better than 1. What a beautiful thing. When you know that there's someone you can call at any time and they are there for you, what a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful thing, and I think that is what makes up marriage. But the world and life has distorted love. Now, because love is distorted, marriage has also therefore been distorted. Because it is distorted, people find it hard, and that's it. But marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage is a divine thing. Marriage is a godly thing. Marriage is a sweet thing. But like I said, it's a journey. There is no journey that you go around in. Even when you're driving, let's say you have a journey from here to going up country. You'll find the roads, especially when you're in Kampala and in Uganda, you find sometimes, you hit a pothole and you're like, my goodness, I wish I was driving in Nakasero Road, and you're like, government here to Yambe. So the same things in marriage. It's a journey.
To that point, many youths,
running out.
How can they know that they are ready? Do we measure being ready with things, with money, or with age?
How do I know I am ready for marriage?
Because we have
ndi ripe. I'm now ripe for marriage, being a man or being a girl or a boy. Now that's
you measure it in having a big pockets or
wapi. You can't measure it like that. If it was age, by the way, you can't measure being ready for marriage via age. Like, I'll borrow that statement that age is just a what?
A number.
Age is just a number. There are many people, they are 40 years, but they are not ready for marriage. You see, you're saying, yes, there are girls maybe 27 years, 30 years, but they are not yet ready for marriage. Because marriage is an institution. That means you graduate to it. That means there are things that show that someone is prepared. Age could be one of them. Yes, at certain point, when you reach a particular age, now it's like, an adult is 18 years in Uganda. Yes, an adult is 18 years in Uganda. Does that mean all the 18 years are ready for marriage? They are now adults? No. So you can't say it's about age. Otherwise, that means that my daughter, who is 18 years, my firstborn is actually 20. I would say right now she's ready for marriage. But again, she's not. She's still in school. There's a journey she has to take. So it's not about age for me. as priority. Though age can come in as a factor later, we cannot completely rub it off.
Yes.
Yeah, because if really someone has completed their study, they have gone through a certain, lifestyle, they should be ready for marriage. Like someone 25, 26, 27, I would say they could be ready for marriage. But depending on this, on the environment, depending on what is happening in their lives, they may not be ready for marriage. So what makes someone feel they are ready for marriage? There are 4. Nyengede. Number 1 for me, I think someone has to, the mindset. Mindset, people grow in their mind and they start to view things in a different way. For example, they start to take up responsibility. Yeah, if let's say if it's a young man, for instance, it's a young man, they have gone through school maybe, and now they have started maybe working, or they have now started earning a certain, earning a living. Then I know the next step should be what? Marriage. I now can afford to earn a living because marriage calls for responsibility. Now, if you're not earning any living or you're not doing anything with yourself, it's hard to start thinking of marriage.
God, you walk by faith.
You walk by. Now, me as a daughter of someone, I'm not going to eat your faith. But I'm talking about the practical things. Yes, life is spiritual. You walk by faith, but you cannot tell me you're still at school, you're under your parents, and now you're ready for marriage. No, there's that moment when you're out of that life of being taken care of, and now you start assuming what? Responsibility. Maybe I've started earning my little money, then you start looking for a house, then you are now starting to see things in a different version and dimension. Then you know, wow, I think I'm now ready for a partner. Yeah. Then also I would say when you are, for example, if you're dating, you start not just dating anyhow without a purpose. When your reason of marriage, you start to have a reason for a future. When you're young, you do things like you're young. The Bible says, when I was young, I did like I was a child. Now that I have grown up, I lift my hands and the Spirit will do what? Someone will carry me. So that means there are stages and seasons in life. There's a season when, your spirit, your body, your everything is geared, and it is time for marriage. Then you start to have a reason for marrying. Not just, I want to fall in love, I want to be loved and pampered. The reasons start to change. You start to have reasons like, I need someone I am going to take care of. I need someone I am going to be responsible for. I need someone I want to have children with. I need someone I want to build my life with. Now you see the reasoning is now driving you to making a decision of marriage. Then these days, even the way munanga, I think they have grown up. They have matured. Yeah. Then I think this person is ready for marriage. Then the kind of companion, the friends that you have also can show you that you're now ready for marriage. You stop being in certain groups of people. There's age group, you cut across. You used to maybe linger around with the young people. Now there's a category you're dwelling with. You understand? You start to have people who have just gotten married. All your friends around you realize they are all now married, and they are pushing you because your company is very important in life. Yeah, they will push you to either what they are doing or what they are going to do. So people start to you start to realize, I'm relating more with people who are serious with life, with people who have gone ahead of me. Now you see, you have invited me. I think, Solomon, you're now getting ready for marriage.
God, bring it. I receive.
You start to relate. You start to ask for wisdom. You understand? You start to see, you want to relate to Teacher Joy. How do you do it? I think you start to have that, the anxiety to know what is there. What is there? Because you want to enter there. Then you're actually ready to go in there. You understand? But there are people, they are probably aged, but they are like, and say, your marriage, you've brought, now Solomon, you even brought a woman in that program talking about marriage. Wow, I'm not yet ready. So they run away from knowledge, they run away from that information. They are not ready for it. But someone who is ready, they will seek to know what is happening. How do I maneuver? I'm relating now. Am I on the right track? They even start to seek counsel. You understand? Some people could even be dating 2 people at the same time. And now I've got those scenarios.
You can date 2 people?
Yes. Yes, you can date 2 people, but you can't court 2 people.
Oh, courtship is
you understand? Dating, I am asking you, you're becoming my friend. I want to know you. We are just relating here and there, finding out who is who. Can I know you? Can I know you better? You understand? Of course, with intentions of making it permanent. But
of
entering courtship. Yeah. But courtship, you have made up your mind. I want to start a journey with this person. So you can't have 2 people that you're very serious on the same road with. But dating, I ask this person out, can we have a date? I go and sit with you. I find out who you are, and tomorrow, can we have a date? I am asking someone else to have a date with them.
To know them.
To know them, because we are not Jesus. We cannot know everyone immediately, much as we can have the Holy Spirit guiding us. But sometimes you may have 4 friends and you take them out for a date. That is how you'll get your partner, whom you'll then continue with in what? Courtship, and at the end of the day, marriage. So how do I know I'm getting ready? I'm still on your question with the 2 points so far. But then even my dating starts to be intentional. I just don't date 5 people. I now, if I was dating 2, I start to minimize, and I'm like, I think I'm singling out this one. So you're not everywhere. We are not hearing Solomon is dating Joy, and Solomon is dating Susan, and Solomon is dating Gloria, and Solomon is dating. We don't see you like that. Now, when we see you focus to 1 person, or maybe 2, then when you start to know, oh, initially I was playing, but now I'm getting focused. I am on the road of getting married. I am getting ready for this thing. You start to have a thirst of information about marriage. Then you're getting you're ready for marriage. Thirst.
Now I know some people who are ready.
Yeah, thirst. Yes, thirst for marriage. You want to read literature about marriage. You want to find out. Social media, you're looking at. There are people on social media, they are looking at, how do I make my marriage better? Am I dating the right person? Then this person is actually getting ready for marriage. Your prayer requests start to be, Lord, give me the right wife. Yeah, there are people and their prayer requests are tekuli marriage. You understand? They are probably not yet ready for marriage, but there are people, they even seek counsel, they even go to pastor or to their mentors, and they're like, pray for me, I think this is my season. Then they know they are ready for marriage. You start to engage in activities. For example, usually they call people to, let's say, singles come and for a prayer meeting. You understand? People who normally engage themselves in such programs, most times they are actually ready for marriage. You understand? They seek out for such programs. I want to attend a singles meeting. I want to attend a prayer meeting. I want to attend parenting. People who are not yet married and they are eager to know about parenting. There's that maturity. Then I think I am now ready for marriage. You understand? So all those things can work together to show someone is actually ready for marriage.
Thank you so much. It drives us to a point whereby the concept of knowing who is this right person, and many people have been victims to many heartbreaks.
How do I know this is the right person?
Does God really influence fully a decision of a person, or there is a choice that will be a free will regarding to that?
I love the question. Does God really influence the choice that I make on my partner, or is it a free will
that God just
stamps in your free will? Honestly, God has given us a free will. And God is a father. So I'll start with that. You have a free will, you have a choice. By the way, God can even influence your choice, but you still do your own choice.
Yeah. Your choice is aligning with His choice.
It may not even align. You may even just go your own thing.
But
there are
God is
people.
behind.
God. There are people. God has given direct instruction. That is your wife.
Yeah.
But they are like, what? Oyo takola ata ina sente talabika bulungi. Me, I don't date that kind of man. And they choose on their own choice.
Yeah. Specific people God has told that this is.
Yes, it's possible, but they choose their own choice. So in other words, they take their own will. So God will not refuse your will. He will let you do your will, but the consequences will come later. The consequences will definitely follow you later, and then later you'll be like, you want to run back to God, and God is like, this was your choice. You chose it. Dive in your thing, die in your thing. But He's a Father with full of mercy, and then He'll come in and help you and maybe give you the grace and mercy, but He'll take the consequences. You understand? But does God influence you choosing your partner? Yes, God influences, especially to us believers. Yeah, God influences. How? When you start from the beginning, God is the Alpha and the Omega of marriage. This thing of marriage is not for man. We didn't invent it. You didn't start it. So it has someone who started it. Now, if I started my thing, I should be able to run it. Exactly. It's not your thing. It's not like these phones. Man has invented a phone. It is not like a robot. Man has created a robot. They can turn it anyway. No. This is divine. Marriage is divine. Marriage is spiritual. You understand? So the fact that it has the initiator, he definitely has influence in it. It is just that we've been corrupted, like I said, and we are diverting things. But the truth is, God is the original. He started it, so He has to influence it. And in the beginning, He totally influenced it for Adam and Eve. He even created the partner for Adam and said, you know what, sleep, let me get your rib and make you a partner. You understand? And He has the reasons for why He introduced the marriage thing on earth. He has a reason. And this reason is clear when you read Genesis 1, Genesis 2, I think 15, 16, 20, all there. He says, it is not good for man to be alone. That is one of the reasons He created marriage. And He says, let me make man a what? A helper. In other words, a companion. Those are His reasons of marriage. So He always wants to influence you getting your partner in that line. You understand? He wants you to get a what? A helper. He wants you to get what? A companion. That is it. He wants you not to walk alone. He wants you to be what? Fruitful. He will influence your partner because that is what His intention is. So many times, if we are sensitive, you will choose your partner as your helper or as your companion. You realize you're already influenced at your choice. You're choosing because someone already put in plan what they want this thing to look like. So you choose according to that pattern.
Yeah.
So our choices must be that I want a partner. That is already influencing the person you want to get married to. It's not that I want a person who has money. You realize he's already influencing the choice of partner. I want a person who is driving a car. I want a brown man, a handsome a handsome man, a beautiful girl. Those are already not what God intended as He's putting up marriage. So already He influences you as a believer to mainly look at these things. Unfortunately, we have been diverted. We are not looking at those ones.
What's the money?
Exactly.
Money.
Class, status, those things. But God, in actual sense, influences your partnership, especially, like I said, if you are a believer. And then there are things in the Bible. Two cannot work together unless they agree. So God influences. It means that you're going to choose your marriage partner when the person you will agree with. Am I being influenced? Yes, I'm being influenced to choose according to the pattern of God.
Exactly.
So I'll choose someone I agree with. And agreeing doesn't necessarily mean we have agreed on a date. We have agreed to wear red. We have agreed to wear blue. Agreeing can be in your spirit.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? Because we believe life is what? Spiritual, much as we are also talking about the real life. So agreeing also starts that side. So when the Bible says two cannot walk together unless they agree, they are in agreement. You're not just agreeing as friends, you're not just agreeing as schoolmates, as people, because that agreement can always be broken. That is why you see there are things like civil marriages, or not that civil marriages are wrong, but time marriages. When people say, I'm marrying this person for 3 years, you've heard those statements. They agreed, but that is beyond the agreement of what God wants us to have as agreement. So that agreeing that God talks about influences your partner, the way you choose. I need to choose a partner we are going to agree with in prayer. We are going to agree with in belief. We are going to agree with in faith. We are going to agree with in physical, spiritual, emotionally. So isn't God influencing your partner choice? Exactly. And he goes ahead still in the same Bible. He says, do not be yoked with who? With ungodly people or with unbelievers. Isn't that God still influencing who I'm choosing? Exactly. So that's why we get in the believers' side, or by the way, not even just believers. Let's say the religious people, let's say the Muslims, they would love you to get married to their fellow Muslim. You understand? Catholics would love you to get married to their fellow Catholics. You get the point. And that is an influence already that has been put for you to select your partner. Now, when I come down to us as believers, as children of God, it is very, very clear. Do not be yoked with non-believers. So many times, you're influenced to choose your partner who is a fellow what? Believer. You know? I remember a long time ago when I was still a child, I said, you can date. Don't misquote me. But there's
courtship.
Yes, exactly. Courtship is different. There's a Muslim guy that came in my lifestyle, and yeah, we dated. You understand? We dated. We went out. He was my friend. For him, he had the intentions, of course, of wanting to marry me. He was such a good guy. He was a responsible guy. I would have loved everything about him in my own will. You understand? But now, the influence of God could not allow me continue with him in marriage. So I had to stop it at that point. I told him that the point is we are on different lanes. You are a Muslim and I am a believer. And that was the only reason. So you see how God actually influences your what? Your choice of a partner. You get my point? Yeah.
He's the one who made the institution.
He made the institution. He puts a few exactly terms, and therefore those terms will influence you if you're following him. But like I said, you have a will. So yes, there's that will in you. Much as those set rules are there, but the will in you can divert you. Haven't we had believers who have gone out and gotten married to non-godly people? They are there. And they in marriage? They are in marriage. So, yeah, God influences, but you also have your will.
Actually, Karen, one of my good friends, asked that question. I think many people can be on your case and be like, now who is the right one? So it calls for us to go in prayer.
Definitely, because you see, life is spiritual, like I said. Now, for us as believers, as children of God, then you must ask God, who is my partner? How do I connect with this person? Destiny, help us, and all these things. Life is spiritual, so God really influences.
Being accountable, because sometimes you're emotionally entangled with someone, and you cannot really think straight.
Your will is taking you. Your emotions is taking you.
You're being lenient. So you need someone, another party who has gone ahead of you and to be accountable. To be accountable
to and ask a few questions. Yeah. Is this person born again? Yeah. Are you How do you know this family? And so forth. Yeah. Those are all influences in marriage. But also, God influences, your will influences your choice of partner, but also our tradition. Our traditions also can influence the choice of your partner. Do you know there are some cultures who don't believe that you should get married outside their cultures?
Yeah.
Influence, that is already influencing me to choose in my culture. You understand? Though of late, because the world has gone on another level, they have reduced. Do you know in the old days, our families used to choose our partners for us? Way back, our judges, our grandparents, you know, you grow up and they already know this one will be married to this one. There was no choice. There was nothing like God influencing or my will influencing. It was about traditions and family and culture. You understand? So all those, for example, the royal people.
Yeah, you have to.
Do they really have a choice sometimes? No. They are prepared earlier that they get married from this kind of side and so forth. So really the influence, I can say, is either personal, you choose which influence is going to take over your choice. Yeah, you can choose and say, I am a believer, the influence of God will take over. I am on my own, I can choose what I want. I have a choice. I mean, nobody takes, even if we give you advice, you're like, it's me. I'm going to be in my own thing. I know what I want. Me, I don't date poor guys. Me, I don't date unlearned guys. You know, there are so many things that can influence the choice of your partner. But I pray that we get the ones that are everlasting, that are divine. Because some of the things that influence your choice, as youths especially, they are short-lived. They are short-term. Yeah, they are short-term. Someone chooses a partner because they have a nice figure. They are slim, they are slender, they are brown, they are, looking good. But that is at the end of the day going to fade away because someone may never be slim and slender.
Yeah. That brings us to
forever.
Question. Someone asked a very thought-provoking question that many people marry whom they love, but they stop loving the ones they do what? They marry.
Wow. So they marry whom they love.
Yeah. But after that, they stop loving whom they have
loved, whom they have married. Yeah.
So for 21 years in marriage, how have you kept the flame, the sparkle? Because I see.
Are you sure I have continued loving the one I married?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's a very relevant question.
Yes.
Very, very relevant and very important. True. Yeah, people fall in love. They marry who they love. Yeah.
And they stop.
But they stop loving. What's the problem there? That is very common. I think there are quite a number of reasons that can bring about that. And one of them for me is, I think people get married for the wrong reasons. Because at least I've had counseling sessions with some people who are about to get married. And one of the questions I ask them, why are you getting married? And people have so many interesting answers at that point, I'm telling you. Recently, I encountered someone, and that one was, I mean, it blew me. This particular person already has children. The lady already has children. The guy does not have children like before. And so I asked her, why are you getting married? Why do you want to get married to this guy? And she was like, I want to get married, Teacher Joy, to rest. You hear the reasons? Yes. I want to get married to do what?
To rest.
To rest. Number 2, I want to get married to get a name. I'm tired of, I also want to be called, I love being called Mrs. Bikombi. You understand? I want to get married to have that status also and fit in society. And she was very, very honest, by the way. Yeah. And those are some of the reasons that young people have when they are getting into marriage. I'm telling you the truth. The moment you go in with the wrong reasons in marriage, you'll go in like you love this person, and sooner or later you stop loving. Why? You may be disappointed with your reasons of marriage, your expectations of marriage. If that person does not meet that expectation, and most likely they will not, unfortunately,
They will know the bitter truths.
You understand exactly that many times if you have those expectations, I want to get married so that every time I am having my partner, we are kissing, we are romancing, we are moving together, we are holding hands. You know those things that you fantasize about. It is a fantasy.
That's what many people think.
Auntie, that is the problem. That's why I'm telling you, at the end of the day, they will stop loving, because you're going in with the wrong reasons and the different expectations. I'm not saying those things don't happen in marriage, but I'm saying that the level at which they operate and the level of the way things are happening in marriage is not what you came in with, and that will hit your love life. You understand? So you come in, and I told this person, okay, those are your expectations. What are the expectations of the person who created marriage? Because there is a package for why we should be married. Now you're going in, it's like the phones today. I equated it to the phones. We have phones, and there's a reason. The main reason for these phones is there, some of which is communication. You understand? Maybe record keeping, such things. But people can have phones for different reasons. I want to have my photos, I want to have a camera. For me, those are secondary. You understand? So if you are your intention is the secondary thing, you'll have problems with the with what
we
you're
major in the minor
exactly
things.
You major in the minor things. You major in how do you say I want to get married because I want to get a name of someone? Do you know you have been carrying your name for all these years? Sometimes you'll never even be called your husband's name. There are people who are married and they are still being called their names. So those are things that will frustrate you for nothing. You know? Do you know there are people who have been married and they don't even hold themselves in public? You understand? They walk their ways and they're still married, very married and happily married. So you have been moving and you've given maybe birth to all these children, and you're saying you want to get married and get rest. Are you sure you're going to get rest? Do you know what is in marriage? Marriage is work. You understand? It does not mean there's no rest, but marriage is work. You have to work towards your marriage. There's a lot of work to do in marriage. For you to have a good marriage, it is not for a bed of roses that you enjoy and you're there having tea and coffee every day. No, there's time for everything. So when someone goes into marriage with the wrong reasons, with the wrong with extremely high expectations that sometimes are not even there, they will stop loving this person.
Some
at
of
the end of the day.
misconceptions young people have towards marriage. One of them, you have mentioned it, that they are going to be in the bed of roses.
Auntie, that is a misconception.
Yeah. What are the bitter truths that
Before
to know?
we go to the bitter truth, I think I still want to point out one or two things that why people stop loving. Very important here, because that is also the bitter truth. Anyway, people come into marriage without really loving. That thing that you're saying, that why do people stop loving the person they actually married in love, is because they were actually not in love. They were emotions. You understand? People are driven by emotions. People are driven by so many factors out here. But if you're really loving, because if you're talking about love, love does not stop. The true character of love, the agape love. So people go into marriage with not the agape love. That is why they will stop. Phileo love will stop. That other love will always stop somewhere. But if you have agape, that is the God kind of love. You came into this thing more so willing to give. You know, that is another thing. That people come into marriage when they want to be given. I want to be loved. I want to be
They don't
carried.
meditate on what they
They are going to give. What are you bringing on table? You who is getting married. You understand? Many times people are getting married and they are saying, me, I want a man who loves me. You want a man who loves you. What are you giving on the other side? So the moment you don't have that side, what you are giving, you know, the Bible says it's more blessed to do what? To give than to receive. So every time you go into marriage and for you have an attitude and mentality of being given, oh my God, you will stop loving. Because people will not always give you. But if you come in with a concept of, what am I bringing on table? I love this guy. I want to be with him. I want to have a life with him. I want to stay with him. You know, those things. I want to be gentle. Bring in the aspect of agape love. You will not stop loving this person. Certain things will change. The things that change are chemicals. My pastor usually calls them what? Chemicals. That chemical reactions, butterflies. You get excited. But those butterflies will go away and reality sets in. Now, what keeps the reality going is the agape love. Is that godly kind of love. Is the initial. Now you go back to the initial program and plan of marriage. Why was it created? One, for what? Companionship. So you don't stop. For what? For help.
And some
so
people
you don't stop.
do want to rush into it because of
The
sex.
butterflies.
They want to just
To have,
to be
to be happy.
want to enjoy
To have sex and enjoy. Yeah, and sex is not the driving force of marriage. It's not. I know it's part of the ingredients that, you know, we enjoy in marriage, but it's not the major thing that will keep marriage going. Oh, I've tackled something there.
You're staring.
I'm
You're
telling
shaking the
I'm
table.
telling you the truth. Someone is out there saying, now why am I getting married? Me, I want to just be there and have sex. My friend, marriage is beyond sex. Yes, sex is one of the things that we have to have in marriage, and it's very crucial. And when it's not there, it's it's an ingredient, like I've said. It will break kwegamba kireetera okubeera nti emmere tewooma. You understand? When
it
there's
the
no
salt?
sex, but it is not the mere. You know, so you can have the food and ingredients are not all there. You understand? Yeah, you cannot have marriage without sex, but sex should not be the number one priority of marriage. Number one is companionship. And when we talk about companionship, it is not just sex. It's intimacy. It is emotions. It's people friendship. It is building your world. How about for people who have gotten married and alongside the man falls sick and they're no longer in position to have sex? Will the marriage stop? No. How about for people who have gotten married and your wife, there are moments you've stayed in marriage and you've stayed some time without sex. Like maybe the woman is expecting, or the woman has just given birth, or there are things that come, circumstances can, you know. Right now, my husband is not in the country, if I can say, and he may not be in the country as often as I wanted it. And I'm in time married. You understand? So, yeah, sex, very important, but that it's a chemical reaction, like I've said. There are times it will be down, there are times it will be high, but that should not be what is opening the door for your marriage and closing it. No. Marriage is divine. So many things to enjoy in marriage and to live in marriage that we need to have. Yeah. But people stop loving. And sex can be one of the things why people stop loving. You come in with expectations of sex every day, and you reach there and it's not there every day, then people stop loving. Like I said, when we're talking about stopping to love, that is the love of chemicals. But if it is agape love, that divine love that is driving you, then you are beyond that. You understand? People stop loving in marriage because of issues like infidelity, unfaithfulness. You know, we come in and we are saying, it is you alone, you and me in this thing. Later on, you discover it is you and other people. That will, you know, lead someone to stop loving, but that doesn't mean they cut their marriage. But if you're talking about stop loving, love is continuous. It is the things that we do around that can stop that. You know, you become maybe less attractive to one another. You don't have all the time that you wanted with one another. You maybe don't communicate like you used to communicate, but the marriage will continue. And yeah, unless you're saying stop loving, you mean divorce, you mean separation. That is when really, I think that is when the real stop loving has come. But in there,
certain things which might come up but it doesn't mean that
we are divorcing. Exactly. I think those are some of the things I've talked about. Unfaithfulness, lack of trust. When people start to live their own, remember when we come in marriage, we say to ourselves, now we have become one. But as you're walking this journey, you realize, we are not actually one. This person is doing their own thing. Yeah, finances, their own thing. Plans, their own thing. Decision, their own thing. Now, when such things start to come in, the journey starts to become hard. And that is when what you're talking about, they stop loving. Then also communication. When communication is cut, also loving becomes difficult. Yeah. But I want to separate the loving that you're talking about with the complete agape love. The divine love that is intended for marriage, because that should keep you going despite the other challenges in marriage.
Well explained.
So you were saying the bitter truth of what?
Of people should know the bitter truths before making rash decisions that are in marriage. Away from the soaps they watch on TV.
The fantasy.
Yeah,
the fantasy, the roses,
the moon, sit there on the
honeymoon,
balcony 24/7.
Okay. Yeah, the truth about marriage is that, like I said in the beginning, it's a journey. So if it's a journey, it means you have to pack certain things and unpack. Yeah. The truth about marriage is that it's in seasons. Marriage has seasons. Like I would like to use, I remember when I was studying some time back, one of my teachers said marriage is in seasons of like weather. Like there's winter, there's what? Summer, there's what? Springtime, such things. So marriage is also in those kinds of seasons. And if it is in seasons, that is the bitter truth. There's a season when it is so cold in marriage. When I talk about that, I hope you can relate. So cold, like when everything is cold, that is a season. So that is the bitter truth when there's no sunshine. And sunshine brings life. You understand? Then there are seasons when it's on its peak. There's sunshine. Everything is bright and everything is moving your way. Especially when people have just gotten married, and you're in honeymoon, you're in sunshine, you're up there. You're on the beach, seated, taking coffee. Oh, that is marriage. There's a season in summer. There's a season when people are away. It's even so hot, It's so hot that you cannot be outside. You're basically inside putting on an AC, and it is you and your husband. It is you and your children. You understand? All those are seasons and stages of marriage. So because of that, those are some of the truths that are there. There's no permanent situation in marriage. There's no permanent. When I was getting married, my father, he passed on. The late, he passed on. And he sat me on his bed and he told me, I am one of the people who counsels girls when they are going into marriage. He was like father's union.
Father's union.
Father's union. So for him, he was like, so I'm going to counsel you myself. But father cannot do it. Like another person should be able to counsel. My dad sat me down and said, for me, let me counsel my own. So he got a paper and he drew for me. I don't know if they'll be able to see this, whoever will see. He got a paper and he drew something. He drew a curve. Oh, let me just draw it here. I hope they can get this. I didn't prepare this though. But we are on reality show.
We would have gotten
it. A blackboard, yeah. Sorry, the viewers, but I hope you can get something. My dad drew something like this for me when we were getting married. Yeah. And he said, Joy, marriage is like a curve. And he said, when you're getting married, when you're preparing to get married, you start your journey here. Like any other, the two of you. Now, when you start your journey here, the two of you, it's so steep. You go, the speed of moving up here, you see this, is so high. In here, there are so many beautiful things because the speed is high. Oh, I love you. Oh, I kiss you. Oh, I enjoy you. Oh, we are preparing for our marriage. Oh, everything is, as like
you're moving, you're shooting.
You're shooting, actually, that's the word. You're shooting. Everything is shooting. Beautiful things here. We are getting married, introduction, wedding. You are just everything is moving smoothly up here as you go up. When you reach here, you're at the peak. Now, the peak here is when you actually get married. Like maybe you say your vows in church. Yeah, you actually get married. What happens when you get married? You stay at the peak for a minute, for some days. You're in honeymoon. You're knowing this person. You're together. You're working together. No, there are no hindrances. You're up on your peak. You're shining. You're oli mu nnaku zo okitegedde oli mu birobyo. You're enjoying everything at the peak. Of course, every time you reach at the peak of something, you are at its peak. You know that. You reach the peak of money, you're at the top. You reach the peak of your books, you graduate. You understand? You celebrate. Ceremonies are here. Everyone is celebrating. Everyone is clapping hands for you. Oh, twafumbiza omwana. Oh, banange wedding yadde nsufu. Oh, we have enjoyed the session. And you too are enjoying the session as well. But after that session, now this is yours. After that session, life starts to be real. And when it's real, it kind of starts to drop down. It may not drop at the speed. You realize this one was so high, but it starts to drop down. It starts to slope down. In other words, reality here sets in. I married this guy. He snores. Oh my God. I married the guy. He overeats. You understand? Oh, this woman here. She's not what I thought. Ayomba nyo. You understand? Now, the slope, the reality starts to set in, and you start to sink in your chair. You start to sink in your bedroom. You start to sink while you're the two of you. Banange bituufu. Wow. You start accountability. Ovawa. Olagawa. Reality is setting in here. You start to be dependent on someone. Can I go for fellowship? Shall we go? No, we shall not go today. We are staying home. Reality, things start to calm down. That there's that calmness that comes, down. And in here is when probably you also start to have a baby comes around here, And as the baby comes around here, you're going down. Yeah. As the baby comes, you're still learning each other and all these things. Now you come to this verge here, like you're settling in. The baby has come in, responsibility has come in. If you were renting, you want to shift and go to a bigger house. You want to bring in a maid now. Things are, they are kind of carrying you their way in there. That's the reality about marriage setting in. Yeah. But after this, maybe in there you also have another child, responsibilities. Things are not working probably the way you wanted, or they are working, but you are fitting in each other. Every day you're growing to understand who is this person in detail. You didn't grow up with this person, remember. Now they are throwing the socks, they are throwing the clothes. Now they are showing you their real personality that you did not observe out here. So you're now the two of you and you're enjoying that moment. So this time here is for working out your marriage. Those are usually 2-3 years in marriage. You're still working out a lot. You're still working out a lot. You're dealing with a lot. You're not understanding a lot. You're picking up many things. You're getting involved with the other families. Remember, we also get married and we connect to other families. The in-laws, the other side. Yeah, they are also looking in you, looking out for you, and you're also looking out for them. All those things are in here. But after you've stabilized 5 years, you realize people after 5 years, 6 years in marriage, they kind of start to understand, okay, we are here, and now the curve starts to grow back again. This is my husband. I am here to stay. It starts to sink in, I have now gotten used kind of to him. I know what he eats. I know how he sleeps. I know when I go to this place, I will need to ask him. I know that one will annoy him. Now, kind of 5 years, 6 years, you understand? You're there now to start to understand each other and to face reality. Then later on, 10 years, 15 years, you come up, and now here, those are now 20 years, 25 years, kind of the curve becomes a bit stable. You understand? In marriage. So it's a whole package, and that's the reality.
That is the reality.
So, but people think when I go in marriage, I'll stay on this curve forever. Actually, now that we were not staying together and we're loving so much, now that we are going to stay together, we are actually going to take it on another level. It's a myth. It's a story. When you're staying together, it's not that you're not taking it to another level, but so many things are unleashing. So you start to learn each other. And if you don't work out carefully down here, that is when people, I'm leaving, I'm separating, I don't want anymore, I think I got into the wrong thing. What did I didn't know, they didn't tell me, they didn't explain, I didn't understand. It is now all starting to unleash at a certain level. The reality hits. So the truth is that going into marriage, you need to understand that there is a life just before marriage, and then the real baby unleashes in marriage. Not in a bad way, but you start to carry your baby. I also tell people that marriage is like a baby. It's like when you're pregnant. When you're pregnant, you're dating, you're courting. Now, on your wedding day, you give birth. You understand? So when you give birth on your wedding day, you start to nurture your baby. So imagine a life of a baby. The baby cries. There are moments the baby will spoil their pampers. Do you throw the baby away? Aren't you the one supposed to clean their pampers anyway? Do you call a helper? Do you want to give the public information about how many times your baby does poo-poo? I'm putting all this in context of what? Marriage. You understand? So basically, you have to carry your baby, nurture your baby, and for us, we keep celebrating the stages of the baby. You call us 5 years now. Oh, yeah, well done, you're done. Meaning you have done a great job in carrying your baby. You understand? Put values in your baby. You don't copy the other family on how to raise your children, do you? No, the same in marriage. You don't copy, I want my marriage to work out like my parents' marriages. No. I have my brother. I enjoy his marriage. I love to see his marriage from outside. You understand? But that is my brother. And my husband cannot do things like my brother. So I better do things that fit in my marriage. So you don't copy things and put them in your marriage and you think they'll work. God has given you an opportunity to love this person, to nurture them, to take them, to walk with them, to eat with them, to build each other. And that's the package of marriage. That's the reality in marriage. You'll find hard moments, sit in there. You'll find celebrations, let's celebrate. You'll find challenges, face the challenge. You'll find high moments, enjoy the high moments. But there are also the low moments, hang in there. But the fantasy of marriage, these things that we see in soaps, it's a fantasy.
Just a fantasy.
Yeah.
It's a dream.
It's a dream.
Thank you so much. We are time bad, but I wish we had all the time. And I'm hopeful that we shall get another time because we have not really exhausted. The questions are still many. However, as we wind up, as we wrap it up, you've been 21 years in marriage. What are some of the important lessons? And how have you been shaped? And how have you been able, the lessons, then how has been the experience, and how have you overcome? I know there are moments.
Now those are very many questions. Three questions in one. And our time is fast spent. But anyway, one, my experience in marriage. First of all, I got married when I was a very young girl. Got married when I was, I think, 24. Yeah. Immediately I finished campus, I got married.
You didn't have even to go on the waiting?
No, I didn't wait. I don't know about waiting. I don't know. I was dating my fiancé at that time, my boyfriend, in my third year. As I completed my third year, I got that relationship. So, and immediately after that, you know the lifestyle that we live as believers. I was already a minister. I was already ministering. So there was no option. There was no time. I had to make it right. You know those things. So yeah, I went into that. But I want to just throw back some of the influences of marriage. Personally, I was influenced by a number of things. Alongside there, we sank in each other. But me, I was like, I want a man who is not very spiritual. Can you imagine? Because I was very spiritual.
There.
Yeah, I've encountered these things. That's why I'm sharing, especially with the youths. I was like, I'm a church girl. Me, I've been a church girl for the rest of my life.
Boys are slow.
Exactly. And I had a session that you had with the church boys. Hey, I was among the people who was like, me, I don't do church boys. So one of the things is that, I was like, me, I want not that a church boy, I want a believer, but I don't want a very serious believer. Because they will bore me.
I want that, to make me adventure.
I want to go to the world also. I've not been in clubs. I've not enjoyed life because, like I said, I was a church girl. You know, I've grown up in church. I've grown up at the altar. So I was like, I want someone who is lively, someone who is not going to be in speaking tongues like I am, like someone like that. And God is a father. He gave me exactly what I wanted. You understand? But along the way, yes, we are moving on, and I thank God that we are now coming on the same page. But along the way, those are some of the challenges I encountered in marriage. Now, imagine I got married to someone who is not as spiritual as I was, who was not on the same page with me. So yes, we enjoyed life. He would take me, in the places I wanted to go to because, but later on in marriage, when we settled, it became a challenge. I now wanted to focus on the spiritual part, and now he wasn't focusing on the spiritual part. So at the end of the day, that brought a lot of friction in our marriage. He would sometimes not understand me when I'm talking about spiritual things, and he's like, do you have to pray all the time? Do you have to stay at church the whole day? Like, you understand? And I'm like, come on, we are believers here. But, that is what I wanted. And now I am getting the challenges. So, child of God who is watching out there, God has put a pattern for this thing. Like I said, two cannot work together unless they do what? They agree. When you don't follow some of those influences to choose your partner, you'll face it later as a challenge in life. And those are some of the things. I don't want a church boy. I don't want a spiritual boy. I mean a spiritual girl. You yourself, you're spiritual, but you don't want a spiritual person. Now, how are you going to work together?
How are you going to agree?
How are you going to agree? Now, those are some of the challenges. And my experience was that, we had to pull ropes for the first, the curve? I drew the curve. Now we went the other side, but now it started to come down.
Draw.
The reality started to set in. When you're at church, I am in the band somewhere. When you're going to church, I am having I want to go for a movie. When you're staying at church, I am doing, come we go. It's not all the time church. So we had friction over that until, of course, the Lord is gracious and good, that somehow we started to fit in, like the curve I told you. You start to understand, you adjust, and he adjusts, and life is spiritual. You pray, and then you start to pray, and then you pray, and then you pray, and then the Lord, comes through for you. But those are some of the things. Experiences that I've got is that sometimes you go into marriage when you don't know, you start to know. You start to learn. You learn. Yeah, it's a school. You learn from the experiences that you get. Then the experiences of loving even when it's hard to love. That the thing that you said, you keep loving even when sometimes it's hard. But when you have the agape love, you have this love of God in you. The Lord has taught me to keep loving even when it's hard to love. Because there are moments it's hard to love. It's two-way traffic. Even me, I'm sure my husband has bared with me and loved me even when it's hard to love me. Sometimes I'm too much. By the way, me, in temperaments, I am a choleric. Their temperaments. You need to know temperaments in marriage. That will be another topic. To know your partner. Know who you married. And my husband is not a choleric. My husband, I think, is a phlegmatic. They are slow people. They are calm people. Very calm. Me, I am a very fast person. You see the opposite.
Yes.
So the experiences that I have learned to calm halfway and meet him. And he also has to come halfway and meet me. So there's nothing like nchange nchitwala, naye nchitwala there. That's when you stop loving. But when you start to understand, you grow in love. The Bible says in Philippians 1:9 that you abound in love and you grow in love, in knowledge and understanding. So you start, some of the experiences in marriage is that marriage grows. You start to grow in love. Like I said, a baby, you nurture your baby. The baby grows. But yeah, there are those experiences when they are so bad, when you don't agree with one another, when you're fighting with one another. They are there because you've not grown with this person and you've not married an angel. But those are all experiences that you learn, how you handle conflicts with one another. Communication. You learn to communicate even when you don't want to communicate. You are accountable to someone. Those are some of the experiences. Life stops to be for you. Now you start living life for this person. It's your life. Your life is not your own. You know that song? My life is not my own. Yeah. Now it's practical. Exactly. Someone has a right over your life. Someone has a right over your decisions, you know, and all those are the experiences. Yeah. But there are so many beautiful things as well. When you're accountable to someone and you know you can rely on someone, you know someone who you can run back to always, who will be with you. That is a beautiful experience. Experience of being a parent, nurturing children. God has blessed us with children. And yeah, you realize, oh, the girls are so much close to their father. Oh, the boys are mine. You know, all those are experiences in marriage. Praying together, laughing together, making decisions together, doing things together as a team. God makes that team, have their own experiences. It's interesting to live another life from your life and join with someone and they live their life. Actually, the Bible says you cleave with someone. You cleave with someone, meaning you leave your baggage and he leaves his baggage and you come and you start cleaving, relating in a new totally world, but you come together and you meet each other halfway. That's the reality of marriage.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot. And hey, am I in my season?
Oh yeah, that one. In fact, let me prophesy in the name of Jesus. Father, I thank you for Solomon because he is ripe. And someone out there, this one is ripe. But you know, the Bible says whoever finds a wife finds a beautiful thing. And that's another topic. How do you find a wife? And who is a wife? Remember, the Bible doesn't say whoever finds a girlfriend.
A wife.
Do you realize he says whoever finds a what? A wife. So by the time you're getting married, you have found a what? A wife. Now, how do you know this is a wife and this is a girlfriend? This is a wife and this is not the one. Those are questions for another day.
Exactly. We have some party to Timo. He's called the Bagole. So
yeah. So but I believe the Lord. You know, when you have a stable marriage, we have a stable church, and you have a stable nation. Today, the devil has really corrupted marriage and manipulated it. No wonder we have so many problems in our generation. But God is putting us back again, especially where I pray from, and we are saying Uganda must bow her knees to Jesus. So even marriages, families should bow their knees to Jesus, and then we will have marriages according to the pattern of God. That is when we shall enjoy marriage.
Oh. But Gole, Timo, it seems you have a question. Yeah? You don't have it? You ask, yeah? You ask, be direct. Next time. In next episode, I would want to request that we need to have the church boys.
Then they flood me with their questions.
Yeah.
Actually, came with the question. There's a girl that sent me the question.
You come.
Why a church boy is slow?
You come. You come
and ask that question.
You come and
church boy is slow.
Yes.
You come and ask.
Slow in what?
Why a church boy is slow?
Why a church boy is slow? Slow in what? In making decisions. Maybe Bambi, it's us actually who has put them down.
Oh.
Even us, the girls and the boys, anyway, we put our church boys down. We have made them look like they are not worth it. We keep comparing them. Maybe. And also now, let them style up. Let them be serious with life. Yeah. and step up the game. Yeah, approach, talk to someone, stop, wait, yeah.
Don't
then
be a
also
coward. Chicken
improve on yourself. Why someone thinks you're slow? Because they see you around doing a lot of nothing. The way you dress, the way you... I'm telling you the truth. Oh, sorry. But that's the truth. Omuntu ali ku church okuva ku macha pako regular and all those things. I think anonya mukama, which is not a bad thing. But like I said, how do you know you're ready? When you start being able to stand on your own. When you start to know that I'm going to take responsibility. Kati church boy osiba ku church osula ku church. Really omwana abandi ogenda musuzaawa oba okitegeera osula ku church osiiba ku church olinda lunch ya church you're waiting for
nolinda mama jo yakuweerukumira
church. Yeah, those are seasons, but may the Lord improve our church boys. May the Lord work on them. May also the boys know that they need to step up their game. That's it. People want to see people who have goals and visions and whatever. Bwoba oli awo nga tolina na plan, oli akubuuza kati you're even wanting to marry me. What is your vision and mission? And you're like,
God is the master.
God knows. God is in this thing. God, I'm in
the
spirit. I'm in the spirit.
They have the God told me thing.
God told me thing. That one never bring it in. Yeah. You believe me in this session.
Okay, thank you. We would have continued, but we're having another session. I've asked Mama Joy to give us some time because also the church boys have their questions.
Okay.
So thank you for moving with me. There's a lot to learn, and
yes.
Really I've learned a lot. I've gone back with a lot. See you next time. I'm Solomon Mpalanyi, Altar Podcast. Thank you.